Hello, welcome back to my haunted library. It's Regina. So I put out a poll maybe a week ago, a little more than a week ago, about what my fans and followers would like to see for my 4-year BookTube anniversary video. So the public has spoken, and not many people wanted to see Batilda do a musical number. I don't know why. Sorry, Batilda. There were two other options. One was the creepy cocktail hour, which enough people did say that I forget the percentage, but enough people responded favorably to that I might consider doing that. I think it would be fun. It's something I do with some of my BookTube friends, but we've never put it on YouTube before. But the one that won out was a bookshelf tour, a library tour, I think is how I put it, and a studio tour, because my library is actually kind of a set. Not that I don't use it as a true library, I do, because I spend a lot of time here and I read here, but this is not my home. This is an extension of my home, which you'll see as we go on. I feel a little vulnerable, like I'm giving away some of my secrets, but oh well. I've been on YouTube for 4 years now, so I guess it's probably about time. So we're gonna do that. I will honor that request, and I think you might be a little surprised what you see. When I put my address down in my description, and those of you who've sent me things, which I always appreciate, know that it's La Regina Studio. So this is a studio space that I don't own it, I rent it. I've been here for over a decade. And when I first came into the space, and it's in my town, so I can walk or ride my bike here in a few minutes. But when I first had this space, it was just a raw space, and then over the years, we've kind of developed it. We, meaning my husband and I, he uses it too. So it's like a multi-purpose space. It's a workspace. I work my costuming job out of this space. It's like a studio. This originally was a mill. So you see these large windows because they needed sunlight in order to do the work. And it's a great space for that. For an artist, it's a great space there. This is a huge complex, and I have a space in it, and it's mostly businesses in here, but they also have at least one artist that I know of. There's another costumer here. So we have a lot of different creative people here, and also some more like traditional businesses. There's a dance studio here, which is beautiful, and a lot of other cool things. So you're going to get a little bit of a treat by seeing some of that. So I hope you enjoy. But before I get to that, I thought I would celebrate my 4-year anniversary by having this is a Samuel Adams Just the Haze non-alcoholic beer. Now, I do drink regular wine mostly, but I don't really I like the taste of beer, especially in the summer. It's making that like commercial sound. But I don't like the headache it gives me after I drink it. So this stuff, if you're looking for a good non-alcoholic beer, and they're not sponsoring this video. This is just pure voluntary, my opinion. This stuff is really good. So this has a very like summer shanty taste to it, and it's very good. So I'm going to celebrate my 4 years on BookTube. So toast to me, I guess, and toast to you for sticking around all these years. Delicious. You know, when I started this channel, I didn't really know what it was going to be. Actually, my first idea was kind of a different idea. I wanted to do like a horror host kind of show, program, if you want to call it that, like a TV program, but put it on YouTube. As some of you know, I have a background in film and theater, and I wanted my friend to star in it, and I wanted, who's an actor, so I wanted to be behind the camera more than anything else. And I had this whole thing planned. I had a script written. I had a set design that I was going to have built, but it was just way too ambitious. And he just lived too far away for us to really make it happen. So I just sat in front of the camera one day, very nervous, and did my first BookTube video. And I don't even have the nerve to look back at some of my early videos, but some of them are pretty awkward. But it took me a while to figure out the lighting, the camera, which I use my phone. It's just easier. And I do have a decent Zoom microphone. And I recommend anyone who's starting a YouTube channel is just get yourself a decent microphone. It really makes a difference. And I tend to not even listen to videos that have bad sound. And mine's not perfect because I do have an air conditioning on. So if you hear that, I do apologize. But it does make a huge difference. Anyway, I'm rattling on. Before I do the tour, I do have some mail. So I'm going to get to this now. I'm loving the purple already. I have a feeling I know what this is, and just let's take a look at this presentation and how awesome that is. This is from Mina and the Undead. I think this is from Amy McCall, our lovely Amy, who wrote the book, and I really loved the book, Mina and the Undead. And look at this, how fun. I love her promotional materials. We've got a pencil to Regina. Oh my gosh, we've got all kinds of these really cool little cards and stuff. Mansion of the Macabre, Halloween Carnival. It's so cool. Oh my gosh, I want to go through it all. So this is, it's like I don't want to mess it up. Oh my gosh, the ribbon, I don't know if you can see it. There's these little like teeth. Amy, I want to talk to you about these promotional materials because I'm impressed. This says, to Regina, thank you for the lovely review of Mina and the Undead. I hope you enjoy Mina's second adventure, Amy. And Amy's handwriting is really beautiful. I don't know if you can see this with this beautiful purple pen. Beautifully wrapped book. Okay, so awesome. Oh, I don't want to mess it up. So this is a proof copy, and I'm so honored to have this. Thank you, Amy. This is lovely. So if you haven't read Mina and the Undead yet by Amy McCall, make sure you read this. And I have some news about Amy, but I'm going to wait for the next video to share that. I just want to see what's printed on the pencil because this is very cool. Oh, emergency steak. Oh my gosh. That is so cute. Wow. I want to come up with some promotional materials for my next book, which is going to be out. Well, I'm finishing up a fantasy for Vella, which I'll talk about in the next video. But my next novel release is going to be my vampire novel, Code Red. And I could come up with some pretty cool stuff for that too. So Amy has inspired me. Okay, so I guess now's a good time as any to break the fourth wall and show you around La Regina Studio. But I think I'm going to start with and if I kick over that beer, I'm going to be mad. I'm going to start with my bookshelves. So let's go. Okay, so I switched to my camera mic because I can't lug this other microphone around. But here is my library from a different angle. Like I said, I'm showing all my secrets. There's my infamous sofa, and you can see I have a cushion on it because it tends to get a little saggy in the middle, kind of like me at my age. But yeah, this is actually a very antique sofa that I got. I bought this, I don't know, 20 years ago, but it's from the 1920s, and I'd love to have it reupholstered. This is the original upholstery. I'd love to have it reupholstered in this emerald green because it's really very cool. Over there, you can see Alex, the Bookubus crocheted doily. I need to get one for this side. I need to talk to her about that. I'll order one. But here are my books. So these are all my books, like they're real. It's not part of like a set where they're gonna fall forward. But so when I started this channel, I didn't have as many books, but I did have quite a lot of books. And these were all at my house. So I had them kind of been carting them over here. And I do still have books at my house, but these are like all my horror books. I have like other books at my house. So here's my V.C. Andrews shelf. And up there, I'll start at the top, is a cool sculpture my friend Alexis Carl did. I have a lot of artwork in here, which I'll show you because I know a lot of artists. So starting from the top, it's like a skull with crystals on it with these horns. It's very cool. That was for an art show she did a few years ago that we helped her with. Well, my husband helped her with. I'll tell you a little more about that as we go on. But so this is all the V.C. Andrews stuff and my Edward Gorey cutout. I found my toy theater finally, which was really cool. So I have quite a few V.C. Andrews books. I mean, I don't have the complete set, and I put my like dolls and things that kind of remind me of V.C. Andrews. Like this is the bride doll from oh God, Heaven. And here I got very organized one year and typed out every single book. At least at this time, there have been more. I typed out every single series in order and then made like check marks next to the ones I have and ones I still need. And I'm still reading through them. And I'm actually on the Logan series and I'm really digging the third book. So I will have a review for that soon because I know people do like my V.C. Andrews story. I don't know if they just like mine, but they like him in general. Okay, so then up here, I'm gonna try to push my sofa back a little bit. A friend gave me this very cool Phantasm poster with the tall man and the portal. Phantasm is my favorite horror movie of all time, so I really treasure that. It's very cool. And then here, I have not organized these books for a while. I can't do the entire set, all of the, sorry, I'm like pushing this back so I have a little more space. I can't do everything, it's too much. Maybe I need to climb on top of the sofa. Hold on, just give me a sec. It's too much to try to organize everything. It's not healthy mentally. So basically these are like my nonfiction books, and I tend to put a lot of junk on, well, it's not junk, it's wonderful, but I tend to put a lot of my little knickknacks up here. So I have my Hellraiser stuff, and this shelf, this is like cards people have given me. Here's a little racy bookmark. And these are my collector's books, like the leather-bound books that I like to collect. There's the lovely Merce from Harpies in the Trees gave this to me as a Secret Santa, this lovely Batilda cutout, which she also sent me as I made it into bookmarks. She sent me like the file for that and a poster. So cool, I just love it. And I think it really looks like Batilda. She's very, very talented. And that, of course, is a reference to Batilda always waiting by the phone for Lestat. And some other things people have sent me, which I cherish, like Cameron Rubique sent me this Kill River wonderful bookmark. I mean, I just love bookmarks. And like that stuff Amy did is so impressive. I'm not that great at this kind of thing, like coming up with promotional materials. Well, I'm not very great at promotion, but I'm inspired now to work on it. And see, I feel like straightening up. Someone gave me this, a friend of mine gave me this for my birthday last summer. I've had this Frankenstein and Dracula little stuffed, I guess they're not really animals. Well, they're animals. Stuffed toys. I've had those for, I don't know, 30 years. They come in their own coffins. I don't know where I got them. And I think my husband Joe gave me it as a gift one year. Anyway, little stuff. This is also a gift from Merce, little herbs. Some of my books on display here, like Red Masquerade, Women in Trouble. Here I put I'm starting to collect things, but I have some of my McNally books, and I was doing like a vampire shelf, but I haven't really organized this. And this is kind of like my restack shelf, so let's just not look at that right now. All right, moving on. Oh, the lighting here is really harsh. It's very red. I have, as you can see, some like lights going. Oh, that's I'll get to what's going on in the background there in a bit. But here I have my Edward Gorey signed books, which are prized possessions. So I don't know, just having like hardback fiction starting here. I have an entire Stephen King. Stephen King takes up like almost 2 shelves because he has so many books, but I don't collect every single Stephen King book that comes out, just more of the, the older ones. I can't keep up with that man's writing. Here's my little Dracula and more Edward Gorey. This is a Angus Scrimm signed photograph, which I just bought recently. There was an antique shop in my town that was selling a whole bunch of memorabilia that was very cool. My Anne Rice stuff, and the lower we get, the more disorganized it gets. Here is my Paperbacks from Hell collection, and this is very organized because I just worked on this. So starting up here, and I have some like skeletons and stuff and fun little toys. I love those stuffed dolls. That was a gift. And yeah, my old antique Ouija board. And then here, these could use a little work. This is my fantasy YA shelves, and I'm doing a lot of cleaning these up. I just doing from my last cleanup. I have a bunch of books that I'm unhauling, just stuff that I'm not reading or really have no intention of reading. You know how that is. But I keep my classic and the children's books I love, like my Lloyd Alexander books. I'm gonna try to get in a little closer. Oh my gosh. So these, my Lloyd Alexander books, these are like prized possessions from when I was a kid. These are not the books that I read as a kid, because I always read the library versions, but when my library was having a sale, I nabbed the whole collection. I was really thrilled. And we have some stuff some YA stuff that I haven't read. All of these, oh my gosh, these Robert Jordan books. I'm going to get back into the Eye of the World or the Wheel of Time books. I've read 4 of them so far. Here are all the Game of Thrones books, which I have read. I have not tackled this Brandon Sanderson thing. I picked this book up when I was at BookCon a couple summers ago, and he was there, and I did see his, his speaking engagement, his talk, but I'm not a big fan of his. Oh, I mean, not because I don't like him, I just haven't read it. But like, it just seems very intimidating to read that huge of a book. I don't know, I'll get to it. Then we get into some YA stuff, the Twilight books, which I really do kind of like. And I did not read them when they first came out. I thought they were childish treacle, to be honest, but I've since checked them out, and I do have an appreciation. This is what happens. Sometimes I take a book. This is a cover for The Devouring Grey, a book that came out a few years ago. I took the dust jacket off so I could read the book, and damn if I can find the actual book. So that happens sometimes. I have Dune and some other Terry Brooks. I haven't read maybe one of his books. Anyway, this is just stuff I've collected along the way. This unicorn kind of keep on the fantasy shelf. Sorry for the mess. This is not, I have really not worked on the shelf. I've got all my Nancy Drews, a couple Hardy Boys, and then I get into the R.L. Stine books. Oh, there's Mina and the Undead. So this is like more juvenile fiction. I've only started reading the R.L. Stine books like in the last couple of years. I mean, mostly because of BookTube. I did not grow up reading those books. I am not of that age group, and it's fine, but I enjoy them now. And then I've got like a bunch of like my big old coffee table books, which maybe one day I'll go into those. Those are mostly like books of like fashion and other kinds, but I have a ton of them. All right, are we bored yet? Then I've got my romance shelf. Here's my little kitty cat. The Mystery Machine. And I worked on this yesterday, put up something on Instagram. This is all of my romance books. So I have Dark Shadows. I'm giving it its own like cubicle because I plan to collect more of those and add more of into my Angelique books, Laura Parker books. I do have that one. And that's a VHS copy of House of Dark Shadows, which is one of my favorite horror movies from when I was a kid. Then I have a bunch of Gothic romance books, a whole bunch. They're like doubled up. And then these are Gothic. This is not really a romantic stuffed animal. It's more like a weird skeleton guy. Someone gave that to me. These are all my hardback Gothic romances. Okay, so kind of went through everything. Those are my books. Here is my setup. And then I wanted to show you that this room is actually, are we ready for it? A screening room. And I give you 5 seconds to name the movie. I just thought I'd put something on that was kind of summery. So I have here, oh, I don't want to show you the shelf because it's so messy. Tons and tons of horror DVDs that I pop in, and not just horror, other great films, classics, what have you. And I can fit about, I don't know, 20, 30 people. We've squeezed in 50 into this room and show movies. During the decade since well, it's probably been more like 12 years since I've been in this space, I've had many, many screenings here. There was one year where I did one every Friday night. And I always thought that close-up of this guy's back and his face was kind of disturbing. Maybe that's the point. Anyway, I'm getting distracted by Jaws. But I used to have a film festival of indie films, and we'd screen them here once a week. And I've done other screenings, and this place has been packed. I've had a lot of events here and art shows, music shows, as you'll see when I'll show you the rest of the space. In the last couple of years, I don't know if it's just because I'm getting older and I don't quite have the energy. Oh my God, this guy with the boobies. It always bothers me. Sorry, I'm body shaming. I guess it's kind of supposed to be, but let's give him a t-shirt. Anyway, I'm being distracted by Jaws, but let's go back over here. I get pulled into that movie every time I watch it. So I used to do art shows and big events. We would have a huge event here every summer with art, music, film. It was like a whole thing. I organized it with a friend of mine and some other people. And we had hundreds of people in this space, and then in this the space at large. And it was great, but it's exhausting. You know, it's exhausting. And I would just kill myself putting it together. And like I said, I don't know if it's just getting older, because changing priorities, I just decided to do, instead of doing these huge projects where a lot of people are involved. Oh my gosh. Here comes the big kill scene. Oh, the Zolly shot. The blood. Ugh. Great movie. Anyway, I just decided that it got to be too much, and organizing a lot of people is wonderful, but it comes with its own challenges. Anyone who knows what I'm talking about knows what I mean, especially when you're dealing with artists and creative people can be, I guess I would use the word flaky. I'm only saying that because I put myself in that category, and I've been like that too, I guess, at times. So when I've now put together like these anthologies, this will be my third one. I still do complain about it though a little bit because it's a lot of work, but it's not like I had never put together huge projects. I've done it a lot. So it's not, that feels like child's play compared to putting together a huge event with a bunch of artists and filmmakers and musicians, and you can just imagine. Okay, well, let's continue. Are we ready? Let's move on to the bigger space. So I spent a lot of time in this small room, and then we go into the larger space at hand. So it is a bit messy right now because my husband was working on a construction project here. But as you can see, oh gosh, how many years ago? We had this space, this stage built, we built it. You can see we have all kinds of gear here. And I have like theatrical lights, bars to hang lights. So this in the past has been, especially at night when you know, you can really light it up. It's been a very great space. And I've had some ideas about expanding this into like a BookTube kind of thing. Like, I don't know how I would do it, but maybe do like a broadcast, like talk to, you know, writers and things like that. The problem is then, you know, not everyone lives close to where I live in Pennsylvania. And yeah, another one of my fantasies, I have many of them, is to do a horror tube con of some sort, starting in the space or starting somewhere else and growing it from there. But again, I tend to think like this. I'm very ambitious when it comes to these things, and it's not always the best ideas because it takes a lot of money and all that kind of stuff. So I'm fine having my small project right now with BookTube and working on my books and other things, and also, you know, I also work, so. All right, so here's some of the artwork. This is left over from our last art show, but that painting there was done by my husband when he was in college. I think when we were on our first date, he was working on that and never finished it. It's a whole story, but it's, you can see how talented he is, how amazing. This is another one of his pieces, Muhammad Ali. And then some of my friends with their photography. That's another one of Joe's. This is Lynette Shelley. She's a really good artist. This is from one of my film projects called Gemini Rising. These are like Polaroids. The project takes place in the 70s, so I took Polaroids that kind of were part of the project. There's another one of Joe's from when he was in college. This is a print. This is a very cool, very large painting that it didn't fall off the wall, but we took it off for some reason and then no one's put it back on. Oh, I know, somebody actually, we auctioned this painting off and the guy never collected it, so, but I know who he is. I just don't think he has the wall space, but it's pretty cool. Buddy Nestor is the name of the artist. All right, what else? Are you bored yet? This is a piece that I did for a music video. It was this couch. This is like a couch cushion that came to life. This was my actual couch. I mean, I made it to look like the couch cushion, but I did have a couch that had this print, and what happens in the video is a kid has an LSD trip and he thinks the couch comes alive, and so we animated this thing like the eyes, you can see they kind of open and the eyes light up. It's like really kind of funny. So yeah, I don't even know if that video is still on YouTube. I've got my lavatories back here. This is where I do my hair and makeup, and Batilda puts her false eyelashes on back there. This is the lounge area. So this is all furnished from thrift store stuff that I picked up. When I started this space, when I moved in, I wanted to have something completely different for my house, which is very Victorian. So I wanted to just have like modern furniture. So it kind of looks pretty cool for, you know, for a thrift shop furniture. It's not bad. I actually reupholstered the sectional and painted the wall, and that thing in the middle used to be a coffee table until someone smashed the glass top during a show we were doing here. So then we have, I'll try not to show the trash I have next to the door. These are some photographs, some stills from film projects that I worked on. I did all the costumes on these. This was a shoot. I produced this one too. And this is more stuff from Gemini Rising, all from the 70s. This cute guy's actually my nephew, Charlie, but he had a starring role in the project. There's Charlie again, and my friend Righteous, you might remember he played Sebastian and chopped Batilda's head off. Very talented actor. Here he is again. with the gang. It's a very fun project. It has nothing to do with horror, but if you want to check it out, I'll put the website there. And here is the Webby honoree that we won for that project. Very, very proud moment. Here is a sculpture that our friend Ken Weaver made, and Joe helped him, they cast it here with a live model, and it's really beautiful. This was for an art show in New York, but it didn't sell, so somehow we got it, and it's gorgeous. It has this like really cool skull. Check out Ken Weaver's work if you want. He's a very, very great artist and sculptor, and also painter. I don't have any of his paintings here, but like he shows in New York. He's like the real deal. Okay, so then we have more construction stuff. This door opens, and someone left their bicycle here. And then here is a nice shot of the clock tower. This is an iconic building in this town of Bristol, PA. Well, I hope you enjoyed my studio tour. Now you can kind of see behind the scenes a bit of what I do here at La Regina Studio. Well, that was a lot of legwork, so I'm gonna sit back, watch Jaws, and finish my beer. I really love that you spent some time with me today. I hope you enjoyed the tour of my studio and my library, and thank you for being with me all this time in my 4-year adventure on BookTube. I'm not going anywhere yet, so I'm still enjoying myself. I love this community and being part of it, and it's really fun. So I'm happy with my subscriber count. I'm not trying to become rich and famous on this platform, but to be part of the conversation, to be part of the community is an honor and a joy, and I owe that all to you. Of course, now I'm thinking about doing a HorrorTube conference. I think it would be really fun. It doesn't have to be here. It could be in another location, but it's something that I would definitely be interested in getting involved with. Let me know what you think in the comments below. If this is something that you think is worth pursuing, I would love to hear your thoughts. So that's all I have for today. Thanks for stopping by my haunted library, and I'll see you soon. Bye.